the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome.
D-Melo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Boogie, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
Welcome. This is Gas Presents Sports for the Culture. We got a great show for you tonight. I'm hoping everybody out there can see me. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm tonight's host, Young Rome 22, as always. That's on all platforms. So if you're new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me. And I'm going to let the fellas introduce themselves so we can dive into these topics. I'm going to start with the top left.
What up, man? It's Gruff Lion, good ass sports. You know what I'm saying? Had an interesting weekend this weekend. I'll say it was very much. I'm go ahead and start it off and just say that the women's game was better than the men's game. I will go ahead and say that. Shout out to my boy Scrib, and he's been pushing the women's basketball movement more than anybody. And I'm happy to say the women's game was much better than the men's game. Should have played on Monday night, to be honest.
Big shout out to Scrib, man. Like if he's on anything, it's women's basketball, man. He knows it up and down. Top right, introduce yourself.
At Bryce, XXV, a.k.a. Mr. Big Leaguer, a.k.a. the good mister, a.k.a. my mama's favorite. Hey, man, ready to jump into these topics tonight. We got a slew of topics, and I think it's going to get interesting. Shout out to UCONN, though, man. Shout out to my guy, Jordan Hawkins. UCONN brought it home. You're right, man. The men's game, not too many fireworks, but if I'm in the championship game, that's the way I want it to go.
That's true.
Yeah, we got a lot of fireworks to talk about, man. Let's start with the flashing lights in the bottom left, though.
T-Boogie. Yeah, man, the women's game was much better, man. Shout out to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. You know what I'm saying? I've been following Angel for a while since high school, Maryland, transfer, LSU, all that. But glad she got it done. You know what I'm saying? She won a race war, so we've been losing a lot of those lately, but she got it done for us. So shout out to her, man. Let's get it.
Boy said Maryland.
All right. Before we get into the drama, and there's lots of drama to get into, let's talk about the actual game first, man. I want to hear you fellas break down the game as we do here, man. You know, we come for the sports and we stay for the culture. So we will get into the drama of it all. But Coach Boogie, man, what were your thoughts on the actual game?
I never thought LSU would lose that game, to be honest with you. And that was made certain by the fact that when LSU got into foul trouble, their backups came in and outplayed Iowa starters. I mean, there was just so much talent at LSU. The coaching out there is pretty impeccable, man. But Iowa fought, man. Iowa had a hell of a season. Iowa's probably the funnest team to watch outside of maybe South Carolina this season. But as far as the game went, at the end of the day, Iowa was Caitlin. If you stop Caitlin, you beat them. And they stopped them, and they beat them. So, you know, and as far as the bickering back and forth, that's what we love to see, that competitive fire, that passion. We like to see that at all levels of the sport. You know what I'm saying? All ages, all genders, demographics, all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely going to get into the demographics of it all and the gender factor, because I think that has a lot to do with why so many people are fired up. But Scruff, man, I know you're big into hoops, man. What was your take on this game?
I mean, you know, it was a great rivalry. It was brewing, you know what I mean? Ultimately, LSU, you know, we talked about it. Angel got in foul trouble in the first half, and they were still giving it to him. The girl off the bench with the blonde hair came in there and didn't miss a shot in the first half. I forget her name, something with a C, Carlson, something like that. Carson, I think was her name actually, Carson. Lit it up, man. When your bench players are playing like that, you really can't do nothing. Caitlin Clark got in the foul trouble. We said it in the group chat. That was the end of the game right there. When she fell into foul trouble, they had three fouls in the second quarter, and they pulled her. And then the LSU just kept going on the run. Second half, they turned it up even. I mean, they already had a nice 20-point lead on the second half, and if anything, they just was on cruise control the rest of the night. Oh, Angel Reese played pretty well. She did what she did. She did double. She didn't have a great game, in my opinion. She missed a lot of great shot, a lot of great attempts at the basket, in my opinion, as well. Ultimately, though, she handled business and she did it. It was a team sport. LSU was a much better team. Caitlin Clark had a monster game, and it was a great basketball game. Ultimately, it's a win for the sport. Also, the rivalry and what's brewing within the little smack talk going back and forth, and I think that's great for the sport too. So I'd say it's a win for women's basketball across the board.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think it was a win for women's basketball. I believe it was like an all-time record for the viewership. Bryce, you tweeted that the game was way better than the men's game. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, man. I thought that, like I used to feel like the coolest part about the NCAA tournament, at least on the men's side, was like the clash of styles. I feel like we got less of that this year. I felt like San Diego State and UConn both kind of played the same game, right? But like when it came to LSU versus Iowa, like that was two totally different styles clashing, bro. And like it was kind of the battle. It was like styles make fight type of thing. I felt like LSU really has a what's the term I'm looking for? Like an outside in game. I'm sorry, an inside out game, right? LSU gets the ball down low and they allow their bigs to like make plays from the block. Their bigs can like make a play towards the basket or they can get the ball back out to a shooter. I thought Iowa had trouble like accounting for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think it was like LSU was so dominant with their bigs, like just scoring down low. I thought like the playmaking from the bigs on both sides of the ball was what like won LSU that game. I was actually, mildly surprised by Iowa's bigs as well. But yeah, the athleticism of the LSU bigs on both sides of the ball really showed itself. I thought gave them, was a big factor in giving them the W. But I really enjoy watching the style clash, and I feel like that's what the men's game missed. I think that's what I was getting at when I said I thought the women's game was so much better, and I thought the women's tournament overall was a lot better. Because like it's not just a battle of who's the most athletic, you know what I mean? It's not a battle of who can make the most threes this game. It's like a battle of whose style is going to overcome. And I think that's really the chess match of the NCAA tournament. So I think that's why it was a little more enjoyable. But shout out to both teams, man. Iowa did their thing. LSU, got the chip, and great game overall.
Yeah, absolutely. It was indeed a great game overall. But let's get into it, man. Like we all know what happened at the end of the game. Everybody's been talking about it. It tends to be the first thing everybody talks about. We spent the first 7 minutes of our show, talking actual basketball, but we can't ignore the elephant in the room. We all know the drama. We all saw what happened at the end with the celebration. So, I mean, let's get into it, man. Fair or foul? Do you think Angel Reese celebrating, at the end of the game, do you think that was fair or foul? Bryce, I'm gonna start with you on this.
Yeah, man. I've been going back and forth on this, man, because like, I think you gotta look at it. It depends if you're looking at it with or without context. I think if you look at that action without context, bro, I do think she took it too far, bro. Like, people not gonna like that, but that's how I feel, bro. Like, and I've played it. I played a lot of sports in my lifetime, but I've never played on that level, so I don't know what the passion is on that level and how it can overtake you. But like, bro, that was just a normal game, and someone did that. Just a normal occurrence, it would be an issue. It wouldn't be a huge issue though. It no matter what, it wouldn't be a huge issue, but it would be an unsportsmanlike type of thing. I think with the context of how Caitlin Clark presents herself, especially this entire tournament, the cockiness she plays with, the taunting that she does herself, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get mad when it's done back to you. Like, you know what I mean? That's the energy you bring. When that energy is met, it just is what it is. And I thought that, like, villainizing Angel Reese for doing the same thing that Caitlin Clark been doing was, revealing, very revealing on behalf of a lot of people, right? And I think that, like, even the people that were looking at it in the vacuum, bro, even the people that knew no context, you know what I mean? Like, if you knew a context, you were just like, that was unsportsmanlike. I would have had no problem with you. But some of the things people were saying, like I've seen people call her a classless POS. Are you calling my piece of shit? Because like, bro, like because they was celebrating in basketball, you know what I mean? It's like even with no context, you sound crazy. And I think that's the thing that was the most revealing in this whole situation.
Yeah, there was a lot of members of the media, so to speak, that loosely cover sports that had a lot to say. The owner of Barstool was the one who said she was a POS. I believe Keith Olbermann or somebody like that also chimed in. He tried to walk back what he said after some of the backlash, but I mean, again, like you say, when the other player is cocky and bragging back, that's the energy that's met. But Scruff, do you think it was fair or foul? Do you think she took it a step too far? I mean, the game was already over. What was your take on the whole situation?
Absolutely not. I don't think she took it too far at all. I think that was very appropriate, in my opinion. I've been watching Caitlin Clark all season, and she does a lot. And you poking at the bear. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's all good until the rabbit has the gut and it's not cute anymore. You don't like it anymore, right? That's what it was. She be poking around, acting like, she was waving that girl off a couple weeks ago. Or it was last game or last round or whatever the case may be. Okay, that's fine. But you got to be able to take it when it comes. And she did, with all due respect to Caitlin Clark. But I don't think I think what everybody's upset about is rooted in nothing that has to do with basketball at all. You know what I mean? I think what they saw was a predominantly black team beat a white team. And, when the white girls were down and out, they were upset because they were rubbing it in. And, it's classless, it's unsportsmanlike. But when Caitlin Clark did it, she did her little thing, boom, boom. And that's what she was doing. They literally have frame by frame. You can put them right next to each other. It's the same thing. Now, if you want to have some type of unbased conversation based on the fact that it was after the game was already won. Oh, well, in my opinion, I think that's the best time to talk trash because then the game is sealed. I got the dub. Now I can talk trash. I will reserve my talking trash until I've completed my assignment here. I'm not going to talk trash in the middle of the game or talk trash when you're down because you've seen people do that. I don't think it was too far at all. I think the backlash has more to do with the fact that, hey, they got beat down. The great, savior, the great white savior, I will say it. Caitlin Clark was up there, and she got beat down on TV. She had a great game, but she didn't have enough for this all black team. And then they was in there rubbing it in their face, and they didn't like that. They didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they're mad.
They did not like that. They definitely did not like that. There's a lot of people mad. But again, that is the world.
Who they are in reference to DJ Khaled. Watch out for they.
There is a lot to be said about it. And I want to get into the whole demographic and the gender thing in a second. But actually, before I kick it to T, I want to get your honest answer and your honest opinion on this because you are a coach. You coach Gas Elite. Gas has a youth basketball team coached by my guy T Boogie. So, in all honesty, bro, because we've talked, man to man, how would you feel if this was one of your players? How would you go about it if you were coaching the team and one of your players did what Angel Reese did at the end of the game?
I personally don't teach kids to taunt and like try to like show up other players with actions outside of, on the court. But also at the same time, if that was some sort of emotion that naturally occurred, like it was organic, it wasn't a parent or somebody telling you to behave this way, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it at all. If you don't want people taunting, you don't want people dancing and celebrating, stop them. Stop them. If you didn't want Angel Reese to mock you, Caitlin, you should have won. I mean, at the end of the day, like we play to win. And I feel like Angel had a very organic response. And it seemed to come from a place beat, you know what I'm saying? To this day, type of energy. To this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, listen, I'm on to something. To this day, your people too. Like my man Wilder told him. You know what I'm saying? Like before I know, Rome, you said you didn't want to get into all that, but just back to the original question. No, I don't think it was too far. Like Conor McGregor made a fortune off of taunting people. This is sports. This is high level sports. Athletes are getting paid to do this now. You can get paid in college. Like we're not treating these students like kids anymore. If Caitlyn can, you know what I'm saying? This all comes back to 50 Cent. Caitlyn got it from John Cena, who got it from Tony Yayo, who we wouldn't even know if it wasn't for 50 Cent. So somehow 50 Cent has caused this nationwide controversy. You know what I'm saying? G-Unit rears his ugly head again. But yeah, man, I'm all for all of the taunting, all of the back and forth, the chippiness. And what was it, the most 9 million viewers or something? It was something crazy, like most watched women's championship ever. More people watch it than the men's. Obviously, it sells. Your superstars not liking, going at. It reminded me of the 90s, where it was okay for players not to be friends and not to like other players. But now, you know, everybody wants kumbaya. They want to hold hands and all that, man. Yeah, this is a new era, man. I encourage you.
Well, the other thing too is a lot of people are upset about it, but what I found interesting, and I'm not surprised by, because we've all played sports, is Caitlyn doesn't really have any big beef with Reese. Like she said that people shouldn't be coming at her. It's like she understands. I was talking my trash, we lost. She was talking hers for the most part. Like so, I mean, I find it funny that they, as Scruff said, are so mad. But I think there's another layer, so to speak, when it comes to this, and I want to get y'all's quick opinion on this. Are people more up in arms because it's two females that are acting ultra aggressive here? Because we see this topic, or we see this kind of trash talk all the time when it comes to the men. Draymond Green is known for running his mouth. I want to say there was a football player that tweeted, "Oh, it's good that y'all don't hear everything we say during NFL games because y'all would think we're barbaric." Like, so, and we've all played. We've all gone to the court and played. Like, there's some very foul things said. Like, if we're being honest, doing the little Tony Yayo, John Cena dance is very lighthearted. So, do you think that it has something to do with them being women? That has people like, oh,
Yeah, hold on, bro. But I actually, Rome, I think you make a great point, bro. Like forever, and I didn't even consider that until you brought it up, and I think it is very valid into why the anger, the outrage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do want to draw a line in the sand here, though, because like I feel like I feel like a part of the issue is you can't be like yo, what she did wasn't really in the name of sportsmanship, right? But it wasn't really a big deal at all. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the issue is like, yo, there is no I haven't heard no one just be like, yeah, what she did wasn't in sportsmanship, but nobody got hurt. Nobody's feelings was hurt. The shit wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't like she ain't put up 2 middle fingers and say, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like nothing was really done, but the outrage is like, you would have thought she slapped her or something. You know what I mean? And the outrage doesn't match the action. You know what I mean? And I think maybe if it was men, the outrage might match the action because I feel like Draymond knocked Jordan Poole out, and that got about as much outrage as this did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
But I think it plays a factor. Rome, I agree. I think the fact that Caitlin Clark is a white woman, I think that's the America's darling. They always quick to defend the white woman when what I'm saying. Look what they did to Emmett Till. You know what I'm saying? So when a white woman is victimized, they step up, always. So I think that's a big part of it, and the fact that it's a black woman. Also, typically they get the shortest end of the stick, being black and being a woman. So there's a lot of that involved in the dynamics, and that's why they mad.
I mean,
people. You're right, G. People saw, bro. What
this sportsmanship talk is like. After you get out of grade school, maybe high school, I can see high school to a certain degree. What is this sportsmanship talk? I've seen LeBron not shake hands. I've seen players fight other players. What is this sportsmanship that we're holding these athletes to? Like this is a
bro. But sportsmanship is optional, bro. Like that's the thing about sportsmanship. Like respect is also optional, bro. Like you know what I'm saying. You don't got to be respectful when you play. You don't got to show respect after. But like, it's better to. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, and maybe it's not to everybody. And I think like that's the issue. Like, who cares for real?
I mean, better to who? Like, I feel like this is something that losers made up. You know what I'm saying? Like sore winners. You know, don't be a sore.
I don't think so. I think it's
so. T, what you're saying is that you can't rub in a W. There's no way to rub in a win.
What's the point if you can't rub it in at least a little bit? Like maybe you know.
Nah, bro. Because if you ain't ever won at a level so hard, bro. Like, bro, I used to whoop scruff ass in Madden so hard, I had to show this man sportsmanship, bro, or he wouldn't play me no more. He wouldn't want to play me, bro.
No, man.
I used to whip these. I used to be like, hey, yo. I used to give him that work and be like, yo, y'all still my dogs, man. Y'all getting better, man. You play right there, bro. You getting blown out by 50, but I need you to come back and play some more. Who I'm gonna play with, man?
But I'll tell you what, and this is the point. When I was gonna get that dub, I was gonna be doing all of that.
And you know what? In sport, in the name, and that's why Caitlin Clark wasn't tripping. Because in the name of sportsmanship, she's like, yo, I've been dogging these chicks. I've been dogging them, bro. All right, cool, they got me. I ain't tripping. Yeah. Y'all got me. You know what I'm saying? But like, let's not act like it wasn't. Let's not act like what Angel Reese did was sportsmanship. And if you don't subscribe to sportsmanship, that's optional. You feel me? Like
I don't know, Bryce. Based off how you just described it, I would say what Angel Reese did is sportsmanship, and based off how Caitlin Clark took it, like it's part of the game. Like if you, it's honestly what you said in the beginning, bro. Like once you present that energy and it's met, it's part of the game. It's part of the sport.
Yes, no, I agree with that, Ron. But I'm saying like, okay, if I cross the sportsmanship line. And you cross the sportsmanship line, yo, no harm, no foul.
Well, here's a question: where is that line? Where is that line? Did T.O. cross that line when he planted the ball on Dallas's 50-yard line?
When Caitlin Clark told that girl, yo, shut up, you down 20. When she looked at Haley Van Lith, was like, yo, shut up. Told her ass to shut up, bro. She was in that. That's you crossing the line, but that's okay, bro. It's a part of the game. I'm not tripping about it.
There's always a pull between two things. Now I think the line is between sportsmanship and showmanship. It was more showmanship than anything. And I'm okay with that. And that's why people showed up. And that's why they had 9 million viewers. And that's why they'll have more viewers.
I don't think telling somebody to shut up. If somebody tells you to shut up, you're down 20. I think you should probably shut up. I don't think that's unsportsmanlike. I think that's inbounds. You're down 20. You should concentrate on the game.
All right, then what's unsportsmanlike to you, Ron? When the refs throw a flag, not to attack? Like what's unsportsmanlike, bro? There's a line. Like what is unsportsmanlike at?
If it's literally outside the rule, the only way the ref would blow a whistle or give you a tech is if it's outside the rules of the actual game.
What is unsportsmanlike to Ron?
Breaking the actual ruls of the game. And if
travel. And I'm like, what you mean, bro? I got what I gotta do to be
if I'm driving to the lane, you can't hit stick me. You know what I'm saying? Because we're up 20. You know what I mean? Okay. That's unsportsmanlike.
Chop block.
Okay, so unsportsmanlike to you,
Sue stepping on somebody's ankles
is only covered by physical action. Unsportsmanlike to you is only covered by physical action.
Yeah, I think the trash talk is all kind of inbounds. Well,
that's fine. Like there is no definition of sportsmanship, bro. Like I don't think if we look it up, it probably doesn't agree with that. But
I don't think you can talk about people's mamas either. I think that might cross a line.
KG used to say wild stuff during the games, and he's one of the greatest to play the game, and nobody ever had a problem with it.
Nobody's saying no. People did have a problem with him, bro. What are you talking about? And you're right.
Public backlash.
He's one of the best to play the game, but he was not a sportsman, bro. He wasn't getting the Sportsman of the Year, the Walter Payton Sportsman of the Year, or whatever the damn awards are, bro.
Bro, neither was Kobe or Jordan.
Yeah, that's true. That's like,
and that's fine. That's the thing. This the problem. See, this is how people do it. They make it like, oh, neither was Kobe or Jordan. Yes, I agree. So what? That's my point. It's like it's optional. Sportsmanship is an option. You don't have to be a sportsman, bro. And if you're not a sportsman, I don't care either way, bro. And I don't think people should. But like people are so affected when some non-sportsmanship things happen. right? But you should be able to point to something and be like, that was non-sportsmanlike, but it's not a big deal.
This is not an issue of sportsmanship. This is an issue of like the best thing I can relate it to is like your girl's mad at you and she points something else out that pins something on you, right? I don't have nothing. I can't really.
Yo, did Shannon Sharp really say that?
That's crazy.
No, I really don't know. That's absurd.
That's crazy, dog.
That's so wild, bro.
The sportsmanship is just what they're using to. It's the vehicle for the anger and the hate, bro. Like this situation is deeper than just LSU and Iowa. Like Caitlin Clark has been talking crazy, acting crazy the entire time, right? She just dogged Don Staley and them. She literally was waving people off, like, go ahead and shoot it. Like you can't shoot with better than you. Like, LSU is in the SEC. As an SEC partner, I felt like they was in there to win it. Like, how many people knew that South Carolina was undefeated going into the tournament?
Yeah, they had the highest odds to win that shit ever. You know, we betters.
The average person did not know, couldn't name a player on that roster. All they know is Don Staley.
Boston?
Caitlin Clark has been getting all the press all season. Season. I mean, Don Staley, did anybody see Don Staley's interview after the game?
It was huge. It was a great interview.
When she's talking about the racism, she's talking about how her team's been portrayed as thugs. So if you think those LSU girls didn't experience some of that, didn't hear some of that being in the same arena, like that game was personal for a lot of levels. And Caitlin Clark, for lack of a better term, was a great white hype. Like, she can play, but at the same time, man, there's a certain sect of this country that supported her, not for basketball reasons.
Yeah, no, agreed. But I'm gonna take the hype off that. I'm just gonna leave it at great and white, because ain't no hype behind Caitlin Clark, bro. Like, she is it.
I mean,
she is it, bro. But you were right. I agree with you, though. I couldn't agree more. I think people latched on to this for the wrong reasons, and that's the same reason why they latched on to the Angel Reese thing, bro. They latching on for the wrong reasons, and that's the real issue. Like
the real issue. But real issue, not sportsmanship, man.
No one was saying the issue is sportsmanship, but when it's brought up, you have to be able to be like, yo, that's not sportsman. That's not sportsmanship, bro. That, to me, that's just a fact. And it doesn't mean it's horrible or bad or like she wasn't disrespectful, in my opinion, but it's not sportsmanship. When you chasing somebody down to stun on them, it's not sportsmanship out of context. But in context, it is what it is to me, bro. Like, Caitlin Clark be doing it, you get it done back.
I mean, look, LSU was mad. I just know LSU was mad before that game even started. I knew if LSU got on top, I knew what they would do. They told Caitlin Clark before the game, you're not going to disrespect us like that. They felt like disrespecting other teams. They literally said, you are not going to disrespect us like that. They felt like she's disrespectful. Like, it was a lot at play. I think it's all fair. Caitlin did her thing. She ain't have enough firepower. Both of those girls are going to the league. The saga isn't over. They'll probably play with each other on an Olympic team. Like, they'll go head to head in the pros. The saga is not over. Caitlin's game probably translates to the pros a little bit better than Angel's, but
I disagree.
I don't.
That's why
I like where you're taking this. Yeah.
I think Angel won't be an MVP type player at the next level. They're gonna be winning chips year in and year out type situation.
You must.
I don't know about that. That's a bold one, but I think we've seen we've seen some I don't want to say flash in the pans in the WNBA. I don't know if Caitlin Clark can be on Breanna Stewart level. I don't know if she got the strength and she got I don't know, bro.
I mean, she could be like Sue Bird, not very strong or big,
Who's that?
Sue Bird.
Yeah.
All-time winningest player, type situation.
I made this all-time leading assists, right?
I think she has the most championships and something like that.
I made this mistake with Steph Curry. I thought it would not translate. What you're going to see is Caitlin Clark playing with teammates that are good now. You know what I'm saying? The Iowa girls are okay. Like, they're fine. They're not pros. Now you're going to get Caitlin Clark playing with people you cannot help off of. If you help, I'm absolutely going to score. Like Caitlin Clark beat South Carolina, and I think the rest of the team took 6 shots. Imagine if you get her next to a star. Like, I think the next level, she's going to be tough. And I've seen Angel Reese struggle with people of similar size and athleticism. WNBA is full of that.
Wait. When you see Angel Reese, what are you talking about when she played in Maryland? Because Angel Reese was going berserk this season, bro. Like every game I seen, and I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna act like I seen like 20 Angel Reese games this year. But I saw about 3 of them in the tournament, and I probably saw maybe 1 or 2 during the season. And bro, she's unstopped she be on the offensive boards like unreal, but she might get more offensive boards than defensive boards for real. Nobody. And her defense is crazy. She's everywhere, bro. She's the best athlete on the floor. Damn near every game I watch.
Nobody's gonna at the next level is full of athletes, bro. It's like the NBA. Nobody's gonna let her do that little turn and scoop layup to the rim at the next level. Like you're not gonna be bigger than everybody anymore. I think she'll be
6'3".
That's tall. That's still kind of tall when you're an athlete for the women's, but not.
It's not that tall.
In the college,
it's really not that. Like that's like being 6'8" in men's, bro.
It's like a power forward. Yeah.
Bro,
it's like being about 6'8" in men's.
6'8" in men's makes you can be a center in college. You can't be a center in the pros.
Well, she wasn't really a center, but that's fine.
I mean, I thought the other girl.
I thought the other girl was a center.
I feel you, but
she played. Folks, she left Maryland to play on the perimeter.
Bruh, Angel Reese plays on the perimeter, bruh. Like Angel Reese is a playmaker for LSU, bruh. She's not just pass it to her down low, 1-2 dribble, hook shot. Like she be down there getting the ball. Yo, top of the key, assist.
She's versatile. I wouldn't say she's a perimeter player, but I would say like she's a forward. Like she has a skill set in the mid range. She has a lot of tools in the repertoire.
She's KG.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yes,
that. But.
Yes, she's like a KG. Yeah, I like that. That.
Yeah, there's the league is full of guys that are that size, that speed.
And league ain't full of KGs, man. Stop, bro.
Okay, I'm about athleticism. I'm not talking about the competitiveness, but all right.
Hey, you saw the competitiveness, my boy.
She got that in abundance. Yeah, competitiveness, attitude, swagger. She got a chip on the shoulder. I respect that.
All things being even, she was the 4th best player in the game in the championship. All things being fair.
What?
How you figure that?
No. She might have had the 4th best performance.
That's probably true.
She might have the 4th best stat performance, but on defense, bro, you can't quantify what she did, bro. In my opinion,
on defense, they don't have no other scores but Caitlin.
Bruh, what are you talking about? They have Iowa. They got the other point guard that be running shit with Caitlin. Then they got the 2 big girls down low. And Angel Reese was neutralizing them big girls.
I just told you when they played South Carolina, the rest of the team took 6 shots. Those girls, they're not going. Like maybe one of the bigs, Cesano, might go pro. The rest,
she nice. She nice.
She's okay.
And the girl that plays next to Caitlin Clark is pretty nice too.
The freshman point guard, I think she's a freshman or sophomore.
No, the older one, the senior, the one that's like the senior, like 16. She's like number 16 or something. She a dog. They're not, bruh. They're not better than LSU. That's what it was. Like them girls were not better than LSU, bro.
No, like, they weren't better than South Carolina either. Caitlin Clark just went inferno on them.
No, not just Caitlin Clark. They also had a great game plan, bro. South Carolina's point guard couldn't shoot the ball. That's an issue at any level. Like if I can let your point guard on top of the key and they have to wait for Aaliyah Boston to get open, like
got out coach because if I have the number 1 offensive rebounding team in the league, I'd say I should just shoot the ball even if I can't shoot. I'll get the.
I thought the same thing. I'm just saying, bro. All these things play factors.
Like, yeah.
I wanted her to just shoot that, but I'm just like, bro, shoot it. We'll live, bro.
That's how finish. Just shoot the ball.
She must have thought she was going to airball that joke. She's like, nah.
So right now, who has the better career in the NBA?
WNBA. I'd say Angel Reese, and by that I mean that she's gonna win more. But Caitlin Clark may end up having more, awards and whatever the case may be. But I think Angel Reese will be a better pro. I mean, her team's going to win championships, more championships.
I say Clark, bro. I'm personally in love with the confidence, man. Any athlete, they can just wave people off, tell them go ahead and shoot. Like that level of confidence, you can't be that confident and not have the talent to back it up. But you know what? You know what my favorite thing about this whole thing is I think this is going to be, or potentially my hope is this going to be like Kobe and LeBron for the WNBA. You know what I mean? Like this could be the beginning of something big if the WNBA does market this right. Because I forgot who said it a few minutes ago, but they'll probably play on USA teams together and all that type of stuff. Like this story is far from over, and this could parlay into big things for the WNBA.
I mean, don't they got to run it back next season against each other? Most likely.
Also,
they should. This be the first game of the year.
It's worth noting that Angel Reese is only a sophomore.
Yeah, they both coming back next year.
Caitlin Clark's a junior, but I'm saying I think Angel's gonna get better.
We get two.
I don't know if Caitlin Clark's pretty good. She's been playing at this level. I don't know how much better she's really got.
We get one more year of Caitlin, 2 more years of Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Makes for some good ball.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be good next season. I'm assuming I would play into this. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a win for the sport.
Yeah, it's definitely a big one for the sport.
Keeping the girls in college, do 4 years, keep stars, and it makes sense to me.
Yeah, Angel Reese following went through the roof too. She's hit 1 million followers on Instagram, something like that. Her, NIL, deals coming through. I think they got a deal with Raising Cane's. They're gonna be out there serving chicken tenders in Baton Rouge.
This is exactly what women's game needed. This is exactly.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, we would all say that this was good for the game.
The women's game is gonna save college sports, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I see it happening. Hey, the good mister is making another prediction. But I'm adding on to my current prediction that that college sports as we know it will cease to exist.
It's doomed, but now it's being saved.
Within the next 10 years. Both of them. My own prediction is that women's sports, specifically basketball, ends up saving college sports, man.
Were you hedging bets? You can't have both of them.
Nah, it's gonna fail, and then they're just gonna revive that shit. Women's sports gonna be all that matters, bro. Women's, specifically basketball, gonna be all that matters because they're gonna keep them in there. T made a great point. They keep them in there for that 4 years, bro. They're not playing with them stars because they know where their money is already. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, it's not just that; it's economical.
It's a different structure.
It is a different structure.
It's gonna save it, bro. It's gonna save
Angel Reese ain't gonna make she ain't gonna leave early. So what she gonna leave early so she can make $40K? Nah. She's gonna stay in school. She probably make more money doing NIL deals now. It's a different landscape.
You need a degree if you in women's.
They ain't making much, bro. There ain't no rush.
But
that's gonna be there.
That could change because I'd pay to go see Caitlin Clark.
That's what I was about to say. When you have a player like Caitlin Clark with that type of bravado, like you can promote that. Like that's what leagues are looking for. That's what professional leagues are looking for. You can put and like we've already alluded to, she has a huge backing already. Like people were attaching themselves to Caitlin Clark for all the wrong reasons. So I mean, obviously she could be marketed by the WNBA.
Hey, I gotta say one thing, man, because it's making me think back to like the Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas thing. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson thing. Similar. And how a lot of white people rallied behind Larry Bird because he was white. I want to say one thing, yo. Like, that's okay, yo. Like, I'm giving a message to the white people, yo. Like, real talk, bro. That's okay, bro. That was all right. We all did that. I'm not mad at that. Like, I'm not mad at white people for seeing Caitlin Clark in a predominantly black space or a space that's dominated predominantly by blacks and being like, yo, I understand that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I do that shit all the time, bro. I do that shit in every aspect of my life. When I see my people in something they ain't usually in, bro. So I think that's natural too. But I think it becomes an issue.
A fine line.
It's a fine line because if you hate the other side, then it becomes an issue, right? But then I look at a dude like Floyd Mayweather who got rich off that hate, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because then you can get rich off that very hate, bro. You feel me? You can become a celebrity. You can become big. You can become rich off that very hate. So there's a whole bunch of fine lines in that. But I just want people to know, like, it's all right to root for, like, people that come from where you came from, people that look like you, people that remind you of you for whatever reason they may be. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? The problem is when you hate on others that don't look like you. You feel me? That's the problem, yo.
Well, yeah, that's the problem, right? When you look for ways to justify it instead of just being outright and saying, nah, I like this person because they look like me. But when you try to justify it with, she's a class act, she's a good sport, she's a role model, she's playing against thugs. Like, when you start, that's what they were saying. You start justifying it with that type of tomfoolery. That's when we know. Like, that's when we know.
That's when we know, bro. But really, we know. We always know. But that's when you're right, dog. That's when it's like you just solidified that. But up until that point, man, I ain't mad at folks, bro. And root for your people, like, that ain't no issue to me, bro. Especially when it's in something that you know that y'all don't run. That I don't know.
Look, I don't got no problem with it, though. I'm with you, bro. I don't got no problem with him supporting Caitlin Clark. But you're gonna leave Angel Reese alone, all right? That's all. That's the only thing.
Right, leave Angel Reese the hell alone.
You know what I mean? Just leave her alone.
Don't let your blind support Caitlin Clark, you know what I'm saying, like turn you into someone with hate in your heart, bro.
What you're saying is,
because like that's possible for anybody, bro. Like, yo, and that's why I say that, because like, dog, these people be dead ass wrong, bro. But like sometimes, yo, some people are just hateful racists, bro. A lot of people, you're right, T, a lot of them. Some people just get way too caught up in fighting for their side, you know, their side of the argument. And they're blindly fighting and they forget what the fuck they fighting for, man. They forget they're rooting for a basketball game. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget you're rooting for a basketball game, people. And end up looking stupid.
Bro, you gotta black people not the only people with ancestors. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the ancestors be talking to them too.
Also, fuck Jill Biden, by the way. I just want to throw that in there. She was bugging out. That's disrespectful. That was she should just keep her mouth shut, honestly. That was a very caucasity moment, in my opinion. That was ridiculous.
It was, but you know, and we see that all the time. But Jill Biden just trying to swing some of them Iowa caucus votes, man. Them farmers trying to get them off the tractors and into the polls. I'm not even mad at Jill Biden. I know what
I think she was in attendance. No. Here you go. Now you're bugging out.
And where my boy Scrib at to call T and Company man right now.
You know why I'm not mad at it? Because I know where these people stand already. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're not pulling the wool over my eyes. I already know that moment was you being yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like that was you being.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm
Joe
saying?
Biden's from Hamilton, New Jersey. I know that town very well. That's a very I know the sentiment that she had that night. That's wild. Oh man, I know that town very well.
Man.
That's a town where they be playing favorites. They be mad at they actually had a young black queen, and they was disrespecting her all the time. And they was putting the Caitlin Clarks on front stage. I remember that.
It sounds like a sundown town to me.
If you think Biden cares,
that's my man Darnell about it. He know about Hamilton, New Jersey.
These folks don't care about no college sports, man. Like we try to
Biden,
like
preposterous.
It was strictly votes driven though.
Yeah,
like Jill Biden, man.
Jill Biden that jump running shit like Claire Underwood right now. Boy, she on his last leg, man. She moving and shaking, bro.
It made Jilly from Jersey walk that thing back.
Jill Biden. See, I knew it. I knew I couldn't trust either of them.
Oh man, if it took Iowa versus LSU to help you figure that out, my boy.
Nah,
I got some fertile land.
Honestly,
I got some fertile land in Antarctica to sell you.
Nah, let me just tell you this. I didn't even know who Jill Biden was until the game. And I was watching the game, and my girl was like, "Hey, that's Jill Biden." And I'm like, "Who?" Jill Biden. I was like, "Oh, okay. That's the first lady." Got it. I didn't know her name. I didn't need to know her name. I didn't need to know her name. I needed to know her name just long enough for me to hear and find out that she out here saying this nonsense.
I mean,
now I know her name, and now I can say with full confidence, "Fuck Jill Biden."
To be fair,
now I know her name.
She's probably the least public vice president that we've had since, I don't know, bro, in my lifetime, honestly. Like,
that's not her decision. Oh, I don't give a damn. I'm not giving her no oh yeah, she's the least public, so she's no flowers for that. Man,
no, I'm not.
Get out of here, man.
I'm giving Scruff the benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm saying.
All right. I thought you were giving her some
Hillary,
credit.
Barbara Bush. We've seen Michelle, Melania, Jill just, kind of chilling in the back until.
Nah, she's not chilling in the back, bro.
She's actually a college educator.
Best-selling author. Doesn't sell, T. That's what it is, man. She ain't chilling in the back. She probably trying to be seen more than everybody. She don't sell, man.
I don't know, man.
You know why she doesn't sell?
Why?
Because she's old. Just keep it in a buck, bro. Keep it in a buck.
What else we got on the dock?
Yeah, no. moving on from the Bidens. I think the next thing we're going to talk to are keys to being successful in the workplace, man. Which has a lot to do with what we were talking about earlier, in a sense, with sportsmanship. So keys to being safe or to being successful in the workplace. I'm gonna start this one off with Scruff, man. I know you're a very successful guy. So what would you say?
I know you're a very successful guy. Hey, Ron, you're full of confidence. You're full of confidence today, Ron.
Scruff's face was staring up.
Hey, Ron, I need that same intro, my boy, okay? That's what they want.
Oh, man. Scruff was like, what the hell?
Nah, it's debatable. It depends who you ask.
Nah, man, you better own that, Scrub. You a very successful guy, my boy.
No, I mean I am. But I've had my fair share of adversity. I'm a very good person to ask this question.
If you ask me, Scruff is a very successful young man or gentleman. But yeah, Scruff, what would you say some of the keys to that success would be, especially in the workplace, man, in a workplace setting?
I mean, I revert to the 48 laws of power. Be aware of those laws. They will be governing. They will be potentially going to rear their head in the workplace. You never, one of them, for example, never outshine the master. Learn that one the hard way. Don't piss off the wrong person. Rule number one. That's a good one. Second thing is, just present yourself in a clean perspective. Don't just keep your social media separate from anybody that you work with. Just keep it separate. That's one. Two. No, that's two. Matter of fact, my bad. Three. How to be successful in the workplace. Let's see. Have a good background like this. Something like this keeps you good. See, this is the levels to the situation, and I'm not going to say any names, but I was in a work meeting the other day, and this person is a superior. And this man was also of a lighter skin complexion than me, and he took the meeting in the bed. He didn't even get out of bed for the meeting. And how dare I would never do that. But guess what? I don't have that privilege. So just be aware of these type of things. Present yourself in that light, because like I said, the all that matters. That's all I got for now. You could come back to me.
See, maybe that's my problem. I'll be trying to take the same liberties as the lighter skin complexion people, and they be looking at me crazy. I'd be like, well, Tom was doing it. Tom's doing it right now. Of course, I'm in my fuzzy zippers.
I got one more. And this is how you play the game. If you have this is all racial stuff, to be honest. So if HR calls me tomorrow, it is what it is. But it's good to have it's either a person of power or B, a white person. Often they're the same person. And in that case, you need to have a white mouthpiece within the company. Because if you're saying it all the time, sometimes you're just going to be aggressive. And then if they say it, they're going to be crusading their cause. So just get them behind you, and then you're good.
Oh no, I live that. I actually had a security guard that was harassing me. I said some shit about it. Crickets. The white homie sees the guy harassing me. Guy's fired. But so that's literal facts, bro. Literal facts. But
why you think
Bryce,
Joe Biden was even in the White House in the first place? Because he was the white guy crusading the cause behind Obama, and that's why they had to give him his flowers now.
Bryce, go ahead and hop in.
Hey, Scrub says he's crusading the cause. That's pretty funny. Yeah, man. I think the number one thing. Okay, first off, I believe that anybody can have success in anything. I really believe that. I feel like there's a pathway for anybody to get there. It's just like about are you willing to travel that road is the question, right? So the first thing you have to know in the workplace is you have to be very, very real with yourself. Like that's number one. When you look in the mirror in the workplace, you can't lie to yourself. All right. So here's all it comes down to have success in the workplace, in my opinion. And there's a whole bunch of things I can break it down to the minutia, but like in a nutshell, right here it is. It comes down to two factors. One, are you good at your job? Right? And you know if you're good at your job or not. So stop playing, yo. Like you know what your effort level is, yo. You know what type of bandwidth you have, yo. Like you know how much work you can take on. You know how much you don't feel like doing shit some days. We all know, bro. We all know what type of worker we are. But some people like to lie to themselves and it can get you in trouble, right? It can get you in trouble when I get to the second factor, right? So be real with yourself with how good you are at your job, yo. And try to be good at your job. That's one. The second factor is, are you likable, right? Because if you are likable, you will be kept around for no other reason except that you're likable. I promise you will. Like, so really what it's about is the balance of these two things, because these are the only two things that matter at work, right? And you can have 100% of one and 0% of the other and get kept around. You can have 100% of either one and get kept, and 0% of the other one and get kept around. You can be 50-50 and get kept around, right? You got to figure out what that combination is for you to be kept around, bro. And it starts with you being real about how good you are at your job. And that will tell you how likable you got to be when you walk in that building, right? So think about, look at yourself long and hard and figure out how good you are. And that's going to tell you how nice your dumb ass need to be when you get into work the next day.
You make a good point. I'll throw the word self-awareness out there. I think that's what you're describing.
Well, it's self-awareness, but it's self-awareness. It's very fine-tuned self-awareness when it comes to the workplace. I started with saying you have to be real with yourself, but like it's very fine-tuned, because it really only comes down to two factors and nothing else matters. Everything can be funneled into these two factors I'm getting, right? Like Scrub said, you need a white mouthpiece. Well, that means that white mouthpiece got to like you, right? You know what I'm saying? It really only comes down to two factors, and you have to figure that shit out for yourself. You have to figure that out. And you got in my opinion, you got that whatever that period is, that 90-day probationary period is, you got that long to figure that shit out when you get to a new job. So good luck, but it's possible.
That's facts. Very well summarized. You should have went first, Bryce.
Nah, bro. You don't want to scam, B. These are not the scamming keys. If you need the scamming keys, I suggest you listen to a Money Man mixtape. He got all the keys of scamming.
Nah, those were excellent points though, Bryce, especially the likable one, because I've seen lots of people get kept around because they were likable, and that's when I realized, because I'm good at my job, but that's when I realized, I need to be as likable as possible, because like you said, it's both of them. It's definitely both of them, because if you're good at your job and you're not likable, guess what you're gonna do? More work. They're gonna find a way to put more on your plate somehow, some way. So you got to be likable, man. And if you find that right combination, then things will be pretty sweet at work. T, man, I also consider you to be a super successful man. So Drop some wisdom on us, man.
Those are big words. And I would actually that would be the third thing I would add on to what Bryce said is, so I had some wisdom, but I'll get to that. But when I thought about it, everything that I had fit under Bryce's categories. It's like under
No
that
bullshit.
brother. You know what I'm saying? But my number one was be good at your job. Like literally be good at your job. That was my number one. Like, you got to be able to not only be good at your job, it also helps if you can do something that good that other people can't do. You know what I'm saying? If other people are struggling with Microsoft Excel, you got it down. It's a little bit harder to get away from you because you got to see what you're struggling with. You can get in the door and find a niche, or even create a niche, right? That everybody else hates doing.
It's fact.
I'm not saying
make yourself indispensable.
Yeah, in a sense, everybody's dispensable though. That's the thing. But yeah, in a sense, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make yourself not a just another cog in the wheel. Or somebody once told me one time, man, I was working at Best Buy, and I didn't have I didn't care to be likable. Let's just say that. and the guy was like, we could just fire you. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm good at my job. I'm better than my peers. And my man told me, he was like, this is monkey work. We could fire one monkey and hire a new monkey, and same results. Might be a different monkey, but they can all pull the levers. Like, and it wasn't a white guy telling me that. So
I'm about to say this had racial undertones a little bit, though.
It was black.
That only made it a little bit better, T.
It was an older
back
person.
to work, monkey. Wait, what? The hell are you talking to?
It was an older person, basically like you're walking around as if you're the man, but I mean, we can find another man. So be good at your job, and be good at, like I said, be good at something that other people don't want to do. Like, that makes you stand out. My second biggest thing was your image, your appearance, and I realized that comes under Bryce's be likable, being punctual, appearing a certain way, speaking a certain way. When in Rome, do as the Romans. If you can't figure out how to act, how to look, how to, you know what I'm saying? I think I've heard Bryce say, do what the boss do. I would say, I'm not going to tell you do what the boss do, but look at the people that seem to be performing the worst and do the opposite of what they're doing. if they're taking extended breaks, if they're wearing jeans and Jordans, you might want to wear khakis and saying a casual shoe. But try to stand out in all positive ways. And the third one is definitely have some wisdom. Like, be self-aware, but also be aware, period. Like, understand that, read the room. You know what I'm saying? What have other people been fired for? What have other people been reprimanded for? Have a little wisdom about that. Like, don't think you are indispensable or more than you are, bro. Unless you're literally the guy, then none of this applies, right? If you are truly the guy, then you know what I'm saying, none of this applies. And that, like, you got to find a way to fit in, be likable, be good at your job, and do it in a way that causes you the least amount of stress possible. Because you don't at work.
And that,
yes.
If you 100 on both, bro, if you 100% good at your job and you 100% likable, which is attainable, bro. It's not hard to go into work and be enthusiastic and happy every day, and everybody fuck with you. It's also not hard to be good at whatever job you in, bro. It's just about effort, right? But if you can meet 100 at both, bro, I don't care who you are, bro. I'm being real, yo, with everybody. I don't care who you are, yo. You gonna make it somewhere. Like, you gonna make it somewhere if you meet 100 on both.
You know what kills people from being 100 on both? Like you said, you're not self-aware, and you're not self-aware in the likability part. Like,
yes,
you are a complaint. All right.
Yes.
You might have real complaints, right? You might have complaints that OSHA should even know about. But if you complain every day, when people get wind of this and your personality, people tie complaining to your personality, you are no longer likable. Even if you are right about maybe the boss is being racist, maybe people are leaving wires exposed on the floor that someone could trip over. But if you are the one complaining about that over and over, and no.
You're basically the guy complaining about bad sportsmanship once you do that, right? Because what I'm saying is like, I don't know, bro. I'm gonna give a few cheat codes that I've discovered though, bro. Like one cheat code to being likable, right? Especially when you're on the lower level, bro. You don't got no say anyway, bro. You want to be likable quick? Agree with motherfuckers, bro. I don't care if you believe it or you don't believe it, bro. I don't give a damn what they talking about, bro. If you pop it on the conversation and someone that's your superior, I shouldn't even be saying this. But if you hop in on the conversation and somebody that's your superior is talking about some shit and you don't give a damn about it. In fact, you feel the opposite, bro. Nah, don't show how much you know, bro. Don't show that you have an opinion. Just look at them and be like, I couldn't agree more. Watch how far that shit takes you.
Call me the company man.
You know what they
No,
gonna say?
you gotta be careful with that one though.
Nah, you gotta be careful. You gotta. Yes, you're right.
Because that one can lead you down a rabbit hole where. Because the only thing that I was going to add to this
You
really
do that all day, but that'll get your coins up real quick as far as likability.
This is what they're gonna say about you. They're gonna be like, "Yo, you know what?" They're gonna be like, "Rome gets it." That's what they're gonna say about you. They're gonna be like.
You know what gives me a little trepidation about that is I work with too many white people. Like sometimes, like some of the shit they saying, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like Rome gets it, and I don't want to leave this conversation with you saying Rome gets it because I don't want you to think that I get it. So the only thing I wanted to add to it really was like find a job that really allows you to be yourself and lets you be like happy with who you are. I don't think people should go to a workplace and the workplace is sucking the life out of you, so to speak. Like a lot of people
do that?
A lot of people, this is what happens. A lot of people will get a job and they'll be trying to fit. They're like a square peg and they're trying to fit into a round hole. Like find the job that fits you, because like you said, like if you have the right work ethic, you'll get out there. You'll find something is out there for you. I think a lot of people get caught up in today's world with, well, this job is paying me X amount of money, or this is how my life is supposed to be. So they try to force a job. If you're going to work and you're hating it every day, you will be all right to leave said job and find something new. I know that can be scary, but you got to find the right thing for you that really allows you to be you.
I mean, bro, I'm not disagreeing with you, all right? And I'm not disagreeing with you to be like Bryce. But what I am going to say is a lot of people, and it speaks to your point.
It wasn't in Maryland. It wasn't what I'm saying. Like I don't disagree with Bryce's advice, and I'm not gonna pretend like I haven't done that exact thing. The only reason I'm saying be careful with that is because I've done that. Now, you start looking around and you're like, hold up, I should have disagreed like 2 sentences ago.
Like, you at the rally.
That's what full honesty here. I've been invited to like the Trump rallies and shit by people, right? And I'm like, bro, I'm not going to that. Like what what are you saying? Like I'm not coming with you to that. like so you got to be careful when you just vibing with people at work when you're becoming likable. I'd say I'm probably one of the most liked people at my job.
You don't gotta be liked by the people that's on the same level as you. Them motherfuckers can hate you. They are with you. They can hate you, bro. They can hate the hell out of you. They're on the same level as you,
bro. And that's another important part I want to throw out there, bro. Your coworkers are not your friends. I've seen plenty of fact here for being themselves and bringing their real personality to coworker relationships that they have mistaken for friendships. If push comes to shove, those people would eliminate your position if it meant they could get a raise.
Facts.
Yeah, most people are like that.
And you a dollar
But
figure
that
these companies, yo. It's a
but
fact.
that really goes back to Bryce's point about being likable. Because if they fuck with you, then
But
they
you
fuck
like,
with you.
yeah, that's the thing about likability and like being good, because like, when they go to fire somebody, like the first thing they look at when they go to fire somebody is like, who sucks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first, because it's a numbers game, bro. Every business they're all
Yeah,
trying to make
nah,
money, right?
100%.
So they're gonna be like, who sucks, yo? All right, first thing we're doing is getting rid of the person who sucks, right? So then there's two people that both suck. What do you think happens, Joe? Nah, damn. I like T. T cool. Yeah, he sucks too. They both T and Rome, they both some trash, but yo, I like T. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you think they going when it comes down to that? You feel me? So it's like
I mean,
likability
bro,
is like,
I've had to do it, bro. I've had to do it. So I can also say on as the guy on the other side who's had to, cut it down to like, yo, like so and so don't work that hard, but like that's my man. Like like he cool. Like
I might get rid of the person.
like
You might be better and lose your job to someone who's more likable. Like,
Bro,
you know what
bro,
I'm saying?
I've literally capped for people and then trained them because I knew they weren't it. I knew I didn't pick the right person. So I'm like, yo, I gotta retrain you right quick, bro. We gotta get you up to speed, like, because I kept you and I shouldn't have kept you. But it be like that though.
Yeah,
So I mean,
sometimes
the likability, I would say probably goes real far. Just
bro,
and that's from
I had a
seeing it.
job for likability, bro. I was the most productive member on my team. I thought I was a revolutionary in there. I showed them new ways to be productive. You know what I'm saying? I showed them new ways to use tools they were already using. And in my mind, another time with my ego, I'm thinking like, bro, like they gotta love me. I'm killing it. At the same time, me telling people above me that they've been doing something that they've been doing for a long time, that they're doing it wrong.
Yeah. People hate that shit.
Me pushing back and saying, well, that's technically not a rule. You know, yeah, y'all laughing at, whatever on reality TV. No, that's not even funny. That's like a real issue in the community. Like,
nah, yeah, you ruined your likability. You ruined your likability because you was too smart, and that happens. And
That does happen.
Scruff made a good point, and I do want to jump into it for a little second, man, because he started with never outshine the master, which is a very valid rule, and you know what I'm saying, like especially taken in context. But like you got to understand when using that rule or that law or when applying it, that your master is ever fluctuating, right? So technically, someone that is like below you on the structural, on the organizational structure, right? They can become your master at any given moment if they have leverage over you, right?
right.
So like that law where it's like never outshine the master isn't just saying like, yo, never like outshine your boss. Like that law is also like begging you to be self-aware and always know who your master is in any given moment. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like there becomes a time, even like in a boss like employee relationship, where like the employee is the master over the boss for a moment. If your boss is coming to you for information because they weren't somewhere, you're now the master. You know what I'm saying? Because like you can tell them anything, right? So like you got to be able to weigh that, at all moments, yo. But you don't ever want to like sound like too smart, even if you know you're the smartest person in the room. Like if you're not on the top of the food chain, there's no point of like proving that, because you risk. I'll be battling with that, bro. I'll be battling with that
No,
at work.
sometimes being the smartest person is knowing not to speak.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Sometimes that's part
sometimes
of
you'll
being
know
the
some
smartest.
shit and you don't want to say it, because especially that shit happens, especially when there's groups of larger people. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know some shit and your boss don't know it, bro, never say it in front of a group of more than you and your boss, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be stupid. Don't try to show the whole group how much you know if you know your boss don't know the information, bro. Tell your boss first. Like, let them decide if they want to drop the nugget on everybody. You know what I mean? Because like, yo, you're gonna get your chance to prove that you're smart if your boss likes you. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't gonna get rid of you. So like, that trust the process thing a little bit, man.
Bro, I mean, you just got to play the game smart, man. You can navigate it. You can navigate your way to the top if you're savvy enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know one thing I practice is I don't try to make my people in my life feel like I'm in competition with them. I tell them, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I think you should be the next in line for that promotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, but whole time
Man,
I'm
I
great that should get me the eyes. You know what I'm saying? So if it come my way, I'm gonna say, well, you know, I wanted you to get it, but I couldn't turn it down. My family needs them, you know, but you got to navigate your specific situation. And that's another thing. This is kind of one size fits all advice, but every office has a different dynamic. It's almost like going to a different team, different locker room, different owner. Like, you got to know what your office dynamic is. You got to see how the people that got promoted. Did these fools get promoted off of work, or did they get promoted off of likability? That should let you know where you should be. Like, your production should be your production. I just believe that's who you are in general, and that's what you should accomplish regardless, right? But your likability, who you should know, who you shouldn't know, you should not befriend the person that is the least productive. That's a rule. Like, I don't care what the likability is. I'm not befriending the least productive person. Like,
Yeah, it's a bad look.
Yeah, because you know, birds of a feather. Now you y'all both. Actually, I'm not. It might look that way because I'm at lunch with this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, I've been there too.
Well, that's another law. I don't know if that's a law, but avoid the miserable and unhappy or something like that. I don't know if that's one of the laws. It sounds familiar though.
The complainer. I've been a complainer. I've been a complainer too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought I had really just reasons, but at the end of the day,
Man, the complainer gets no love from me at work. I got a complainer at work right now. Can't fade him. I hate people that complain at work, bro. Like, we getting paid. We getting
I ain't
paid,
wrong.
bro.
That should be blowing me too. But I think that complaining is bred from like yo, when you at work, yo, like, and some people, bro, yo, I know people who are just like, yo, they're prideful ass people, bro, where they're like, yo, you're not gonna talk to me no kind of way ever. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna disrespect me. No, you're not gonna slick disrespect me. You're not gonna straight up disrespect me. You're not going to, you know, those people I'm talking about. They got a list of, you not gonna do this to me. You feel me? Bro, them people ain't making it. Them people ain't making it, bro. Because, like,
Man, bro,
yo,
we had
you
this.
have to make your decision with yourself, right? What is your goal, bro? Yo, if you want to be making if you see yourself as $100,000 earner, bro, right? And you see yourself doing that within a workplace, right? Because we all want to be able to run our own business as making $100K a year, right? We all want that, bro. But that takes time. You got to have money to make money, right? So while you building up to get to that point, right? And you have to work for somebody to make that $100K, bro. Yo, remember why you're there, bro. Don't forget that you're only there for the bag, bro. Like, you're putting on a mask every time you walk in that jump. Like, you feel me? You're not going in there, whatever your real name is, your first and last name, you're not going in there as that person, bro. I'm not going in there as me. I'm going in there as work me. You feel me? And work me and me back at the crib are two told you wouldn't even y'all wouldn't even recognize, y'all three wouldn't even recognize work me. Y'all be like, what the hell is this dude? And that's how it should be, bro. If you're trying to advance, bro, I shouldn't be able to recognize. If I can recognize work you probably doing it wrong, bro. You feel me? Because you might not really realize why you're there. One thing I try to remember is why the hell I'm in there, bro.
So this is at what price do you eat shit? Because that's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you putting up with things, you are allowing things to cross boundaries that you normally wouldn't. What is the dollar figure amount?
And that's what I meant with my original comment.
And is your shit is your shit really shit, bro? Or is it just feel like shit because we live in 2023 where the smallest little thing be feeling like shit because, like, Martin Luther King and them was sitting at the lunch table was getting chili thrown in their face and getting spit on, bro.
Well,
and they still sat there, right? So if I get slick disrespected and I know what my goal is, that this 100K for this year, but in 10 years I'm gonna stack enough to where I'm gonna have my own business doing this. Sounds like that might be a fair trade-off if I know where I'm trying to head.
I think that depends on the person.
Yeah, because
facts, 100%.
Look at it like this, right? You might go to work, offer up some idea, and they're dismissive of it, and you like, well, I mean, I tried to help them. Somebody else that might have been through a lifetime of, I've been dismissed by my family. When I played on a sports team, they said I wasn't good enough. They dismissed me here at every step. and I've built myself up, and now that I finally got on equal footing with people, I'm still getting dismissed. Like certain things, if you step on my foot, it might not hurt, but if I step on your foot, you might got a bunion. You might be like, dog, what the hell? Like,
no, that's facts, bro. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everybody individual circumstance gonna lead them to believe different things, right? But if you're a person where your individual circumstance, you feel me, the things that you've been through makes you hardened to a point where you can't recognize the end goal, then you ain't gonna be able to do it, bro. And everybody ain't gonna be able to do it, bro. But like, and some people gonna be able to do it a whole different way, because there's a whole different ways to get, there's a whole different road to get to the prize, right? So like, but I'm just saying, like, if you can't separate that, it's gonna be rough for you to navigate these spaces. Maybe you need to jump into your own business right now, and you might have that drive.
Yeah.
You might have that drive. I'm not saying you don't, but if you try to navigate these spaces, which in my opinion is a quicker way to do it because you can get to some money quicker, right? Then I would say you probably gotta swallow your pride in some place, and maybe it's not pride, but you gotta swallow your ego here and
Definitely
there.
got to swallow your ego. But yeah, it's like that's what I was saying. Like you got to find what path works for you, and that's the path that you got to apply these concepts to. But final thoughts, real quick.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Hansel. It's not apples. It wasn't apples to apples comparison. I didn't make it to be that, but I did. I made it to be like, I wanted to have like a polarizing effect to where it's like, you can deal with something horrible for like just human rights. I could probably deal with something like, that's just kind of bad for me to be able to like one day provide generational wealth for my family. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. Well, I do feel you. It's not apples to apples. What I said.
Well, that's why I was asking, what's the bar? Like, what's the dollar amount? Like, at what point do you say, all right, enough's enough? Like, say you're being targeted at work, right? You're being scrutinized more than all your peers. At what point do you say, nah, I'm putting my foot down this time?
Okay, yes, but remember, you put it when one of your two things is compromised, right?
Right.
But you can't do it to the point where you compromise either being good at your job or your likability. And once you lose sight of those two things being the rulers, you know what I'm saying? You're not navigating the space the best way, in my opinion. You know what I mean? You can't navigate that space with emotion. You know what I'm saying?
I guess my final thought on this is, like, I think this is a great overall advice. And again, every office setting, every job setting is going to be different. And sometimes there are scenes that you just cannot navigate, right? You just don't have the tools. So like Rome said, find a space where you being yourself is what's likable. You know what I'm saying? You being yourself is productive. So, and it is scary, especially in these times, to be out on your own, but build to that if you're in the situation that, you don't like. I know Hansel can attest to this. I was at TSA working on my future, studying IT stuff, reading these books, reading these, test questions, trying to make it to where I felt like I would be appreciated for my talent. Mm-hmm.
Exactly, man. Stay on your path. Definitely not saying anybody should be a quitter or nothing like that. I'm not saying like, well, you know what else? This is in sports for the culture. This man Rome said I should just quit today because I ain't fucking with this shit. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you do what you need to do to get on the correct path for you, and then take a lot of these advice. Be likable and be self-aware. I think that will definitely go far in the workplace. Anybody else got anything to say before we get out of here?
Nah, y'all some great points. I was taking notes.
Don't do your job though. Be good at your job. Like, don't go in there and tell a bunch of jokes. That ain't always likable either.
And if you need somebody to talk to, man, like when you're doing that, like, yo, you gotta have you a little circle of homies or somebody, bro. Never forget, iron sharpens iron, like steel sharpens steel. Same way man sharpens man. So, you know what I mean? Stay with that tight-knit circle that, if something's stressing you in the workplace or somewhere else, even if it's at home, wherever, sometimes don't just express all your feelings and lash out with your feelings in the workplace or wherever you're at. Take it to a homie, take it to somebody that you take it to a confidant, and then figure it out from there.
Yeah, most
Yeah,
definitely, man. Let release that work stress.
yeah, definitely have somebody you could bounce off of, and so you could talk about proper workplace situations and conduct, and might be a good idea to get a therapist too if you're having a real rough situation at work.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea because we work can be stressful, man. But we're gonna get out of here as in the show as we always do. Sports for the culture.
Sports for the
Sports for the
culture.
culture.